The Be Different series, God is Thought. It's such a strange coincidence. I was just talking about the Swami a little while ago, and just yesterday, I happened to read J. Krishnamurti in a lecture, and someone asked him whether there is God. Simple question. If there is God, and how does it manifest itself in our daily lives? And Mr. Jiddu Krishnamurti thought about it for some time and laughed and said, well, who is God? Basically asked that question to the audience, and no one had an answer. And he went on to say that in the old scriptures, God was never written about. So, quite obviously, as per J. Krishnamurti, God had been created somewhere in the later years. And then people began worshipping God. So, Mr. Krishnamurti went on to say, in other words, to hide your fear, you created a God and then you started worshipping Him. Or your thought, your mind started worshipping the image that the thought had created earlier. And I repeat this. Mr. Krishnamurti went on to say, in other words, your mind started worshipping the image of the thought that you had created earlier in your own mind, which was God. And, or was it just man who, by figment of imagination or thought process, created God and then started worshipping himself? So man became the God and you started worshipping that particular person. How that was manifested? It was maybe manifested through idol worship. And we started praying to idols, stone, metal, mud, in so many ways. And it went from there. And now it's become a very strong manifestation in many people's lives. And they rely very, very heavily on that. They put half their life into that, and many people put their entire lives into that, whether it is in religious practice or whether it is in spiritual practice. Mr. Krishnamurti did say there's something called eternity, which is beyond time, and where you can go if you want to get rid of your selfishness, ego, your fears. But about God, he definitely said there is none. But you can believe anything you want. You can believe what the gurus tell you, that there is God, and come to me and I'll give you salvation in whatever form you want. But you must surrender your mind to me. Now that I don't understand, because by surrendering your mind, you're giving away your only element of difference to that person, and you'll be bound to them forever and ever. You must maintain your own mind to be a point of difference. Otherwise, what is the point of living? So you surrender your mind, they make tons of money on your surrender, and other people surrender. And what do you get out of it? Nothing. You get upliftment from what they tell you, but your mind still remains the same. When you surrender your mind, where's the question of upliftment? What's the difference between you and other people, and a dog who has no mind, or an animal? I don't understand this. So I went to J. Krishnamurti to get some answers, and I get this, that there is no God. So I'm very confused. To me, it's actually no confusion. I find the confusion rests with the people who believe in that and believe that something is wrong with them because it was destined to be the case and it had to happen. I'm saying it didn't have to happen. You, if it is there and you're stuck, then get out of it, get out of the vortex, think about it, and move forward. Get out and move forward. You got to take action, which is equal to karam. Take action and get out of there. If you don't take action, there will be inaction. And inaction means zero action. So you will continue to be where you are and fester. Take the matter in hand and you will get the solution in some time. But take the matter in hand and get forward. Go for it.